I'm not sure what happened there, but the video stopped for whatever reason. So where was I? Yeah, the taxi driver. So he died less than a year later, and it was put down that he had drowned somewhere, but there's a lot of suspicion around that as well. What I personally think is, I think something's happened to the girls and the police have wanted to cover it up, because Phuket in Panama is a really touristy place. They bring in a lot of money for that, and with things that have happened in the past, I think that they didn't want anything bad coming out of this, to stop people coming. It's also widely known that the case was handled really bad. Like, it took them a few days to go searching for the girls. Lots of people touched the bones. They weren't wearing gloves. It was said that there was like 33 different prints on the bones. So, yeah, there was a backpacker that went missing in 2009 as well. So there's a lot of suspicions here, and it's just one of these ones that I always think about, especially because going by the phones, the girls were alive for 10 days. Now, how they could survive that without food, without water, I don't know, maybe they somehow caught rainwater. But you would think if the girls knew that they were dying, like nobody had been coming so far. The girls both kept journals. They loved their social media. So you would think that maybe they would have left a note, a message in their phones for their parents if they thought that it was the end. Some people think that the kidnappers or whoever had them, that they actually had their phones and they left the backpack and things because they wanted to make it look like the girls were injured. There's so many different theories about this, and this is me only going into the basics. There's so much more into all the different theories, but I don't want to bore you. Well, not bore you, because hopefully you find it quite interesting and hopefully you'll look into it yourself. But whatever happened to these girls is truly terrifying. They were both young girls. To be fair, they were a bit ill prepared for going a trek, to be honest, but that doesn't mean that anything should have happened to them. So I would love to know like what your theories are in this. Feel free to look it up yourself. And then there's the fact that the dog came back as well on his own that night. Like, that's a bit strange on its own too. And there is indigenous people that live in the jungle, but they don't usually use the trail that the tourists use. They're usually kind of well in the jungle. They don't like being disturbed. So I'm thinking, have the girls came off the trail for whatever reason. There's another theory that apparently they were looking for some kind of waterfall. So maybe the girls went off track to look for this waterfall, got lost. Have they came across some indigenous people that I don't know, for whatever reason, wasn't happy about it. Have they done something to them? But what doesn't add up about the kind of kidnapping theory is, if the girls were taken, why were they allowed to use their phones for 10 days? And also the camera with the missing picture. If someone wanted to delete a picture, why wouldn't they just keep the cameras, keep the phones, destroy them? Why would they be left in a backpack? So that makes me kind of think, okay, that's a bit strange. So I'm just looking for a certain brush here. Oh yeah, and that's another thing. The girls' bones